Sandra, welcome to another episode of Asexualized, my asexual life. This is a place to be for education about asexuality, all things asexual, and I share my own asexual life journey in order to help you in yours. If you haven't already subscribed, please hit the great big subscribe button down below right here, right now. Please hit that bell icon to get notified of every time I go live like now or post a new video. And don't forget to give this video a thumbs up as we're going along if you're enjoying the content. If you don't know who I am Sandra Bellamy, author of this beautiful book, Asexual Perspectives, 47 Asexual Stories, Love, Life and Sex, A Celebration of Asexual Diversity. A very beautiful, thick book there on Amazon. Link is down below. I'm also the founder of asexualise.com and the founder of Asexualise Academy. Well, welcome to tonight's episode. Tonight's episode is focused on finding a relationship and dating. I know not all asexuals want to do that, but this is one episode that I really think is important to do. So I run 5 asexual groups on Facebook, 3 of which are dating. Well, one's a support / dating group and 2 is just for dating. And I'm in the group lately and there's a few people that are saying, because I said, how is asexual dating going? They're like, oh, dating, what's that? No, I'm not bothered about that. Which to my mind, it's like, why are you in a dating group if you're not interested in dating? Doesn't that kind of miss the point? Because I have an asexual friends group as well for people to just chat and make friends. But for some reason, people love being in the dating group, which is great, even though they don't want to date. So, yeah, so I have other people in the group that they just can't find someone. They run out of ideas of where to find someone to date. And so really this episode is all about what you can do if you're looking to get into a relationship, what you can do, some extra sort of things you might not have thought about that you could do to pursue a relationship, right? Because obviously if we keep doing the same thing, we'll keep getting the same result, right? So we need to change what we're doing. And that is exactly it. We need to change what we're doing for a start. So you have to know that in order to increase your chances of finding the relationship of your dreams, then you have to change what you're doing, right? You have to admit that if you've been doing the same thing over and over again, it's not working, you've got to stop and try something else. It doesn't mean to say you can't carry on. If the things that aren't working are definitely no go, then that's no good, but you can carry on as well if it's just a case of you can't find the right person in that particular thing. So for example, I'm still going to stay on asexual dating sites and ASAP, right? I'm still going to stay on them even though I haven't found the relationship of my dreams, the right guy for me yet, right? Since 2014 I've been on asexual dating sites. I think ASAP's been out a couple of years now, so I've been on there for a while and obviously it's not working. I haven't found the right person for me yet, so I have to try other things. But it doesn't mean to say I have to give up that. It means I can do other things in addition to that, because with asexuals they are less, as we know, and there are people, for example, new people popping up all the time on ASAP. So it gives you a greater pool of people to, you know, possibly be in a relationship with. So I don't think it's good to stop that. I think it's good to carry that on, but it's good to widen the scope of what you're doing. So, for example, I've been getting younger guys attracted to me lately, like more younger than 21, which is what my age is usually that I go for. So instead of me going around saying I will only be with someone who's 21 years and up, I am now considering possibly a little bit younger than that. Obviously, I can't go too young because they'd be too young, right? But, you know, if a guy's really interested in me, then why not think a little tiny bit younger? Do you know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, it is what it is. I would say that to you as well, to broaden your range of ages that you're going for. I mean, a lot of people I come across are like, oh, there's so many young asexuals, like in their 20s, like, isn't there anyone older? But just because you're older doesn't mean to say you can't actually widen your search for younger. I mean, I have widened my search in the past for older, despite the fact I really only get attracted to younger guys, but that's the reason why. I mean, I've still got my filters on older than me, but, you know, because you never know what might happen. There might be some foreign guy that happens to look about 10 years or 15 or more years younger than he really is. So I'm not completely 100% opposed to it, but kind of most of my being is geared towards a younger guy, not an older guy, right? And so you know, the more I try to go for an older guy, the less I'm interested, the more repulsed I am actually about the whole idea. So I think really, you know, going for slightly younger, well, maybe, you know, is going to be interesting for me. I'm going to use the word interesting because obviously they're going to be at different life stage to me, which I would expect anyway, kind of, because obviously I like younger guys anyway, but they might be in a financial position that's not suitable to be in a relationship with me anyway. But money's, you know, money's not everything. You need money to see each other, right? So I've, you know, I'm considering a possibility of a younger guy. I mean, when I go out, you know, like when I go to the club as well, I'm going more to the club, you know, that I like, which is younger foreign guys, younger British guys as well. So, you know, I would urge you like to go to different places than you usually go to. If there's a place you like that you haven't been to for ages, a club, whether it's a sports club or a board game club, or I don't know, just a general interest club, you know, I'd urge you to go back to that if you enjoyed it. You know, take up hobbies and interests, or take up different hobbies or interests. Go and work out of the gym, and then there might be some different class of people there. You know, go and pursue your passions and dreams. You know, like some people I know have met their partner through, like, you know, like conventions, like Comic-Con and stuff like that. You know, if you're into superhero movies, you might be able to go like superhero conventions and then meet the love of your life there. I know someone who wasn't asexual, but they literally met their partner at I think it was a Comic-Con convention or something like that. I don't know how you pronounce it. Is it Com-Con or something? I don't know. It was a convention, you know. It was I think either it was a comic or it was a film convention or something. It might have been film, actually. I saw a picture of them dressed up. I think in their wedding they were dressed up as well. And so, you know, it's amazing what you can find. So keep your eyes peeled and open, but make sure you try different stuff. So, you know, broaden the scope of the age you would usually go for, you know? Don't just think that just because you're a certain age you can get someone younger or older than you if you wanted to. Why limit yourself when we're limited in numbers anyway, right? Go out to places that make you feel good. Go to places you wouldn't usually go to. Push through your fears and boundaries. Like I'm going to club, like I said. I'm going on my own, right? Am I a little bit scared? Well, I love going to the place, right? But of course, I still get a bit like, whoa, a little bit. But, you know, I'm getting used to it now going on my own. But, you know, also another thing is I usually get attracted to foreign guys, but British guys, if they're much younger, then I could, you know, like early 20s, then I could consider them like a foreign guy usually is, I can go up to 28. Do you know what I mean? Maybe a little bit older, but you know, guys who are British, I don't get that attracted to asexually. But I did have a British boyfriend briefly this year, which proves to me that I could possibly be with a British guy. So obviously, if you're hi, how's things been? Also, congrats with the new book. Oh, thank you. That's really kind of you. Thank you. Lots of love to you. Yeah. I wish I knew your real name because I don't know your real name. But thank you. Yeah, the new book's just come out in print. I should really put a link somewhere to the fibro book, to be honest, because it helps a lot of asexuals. A lot of asexuals have bought it. You know, because it helps with depression and anxiety. And a lot of asexuals have depression and anxiety, so it really helps. Like one guy's really changed his life. Oh, your name is Adam. Okay. Have we spoken before at all on any app or anything? Anyway, it's nice to hear from you, Adam. I just wondered if we talked at all on any app or in any group or that. So anyway, it's nice to hear from you. Yeah, because I do know one Adam particularly, but they're in another country. Is that I can't even see your symbol, but it looks nice. So yeah, thank you for coming into this channel. Nice. No, but I'm the one who gave you the funny idea of the duvet dance challenge a while back. Oh, right. I remember now. Yeah, I remember that. You always ask me to do really strange things. Yes, I remember that. It was I did it on one of the videos while I was in the mood too, and it followed on from what I was saying. So yeah. So in tonight's episode, at the moment, I'm in the middle of talking about how to increase your chances of finding a relationship. So what was I discussing? Broaden your age range I've covered so far. Do different things, like go out to different places. Go back to, if there's like any hobbies or interests you liked, any clubs you used to go to but you don't anymore, go back and join them. Like live your passions, like join new places as well. So, and go where you're most likely to be able to find the type of people you want to be with. So obviously go to asexual. If you're asexual, go to asexual meetup groups. Like most asexuals are going to meet their partner for a relationship either online or at an asexual meetup. I mean, I organise meetups in the UK, but there are lots of asexuals that have meetups all around the UK. Obviously, if you want to broaden your scope even more, if you're not bothered whether you're with a sexual person or not, even though you're asexual, then you can go to meetup groups around the country for singles who are sexual, not asexual. Do you know what I mean? That's another way. I mean, on Facebook, I run asexual dating groups. Obviously, I'm part of other asexual dating groups. So if you're watching this and you're asexual and you're interested in dating, there are asexual dating groups on Facebook. Also, I've recently joined some groups that are not asexual at all. And I do go in there and post that I'm asexual and what I'm looking for, which is a no sex ever relationship. And some people are really nice about it and some people are not nice about it. But overall, apart from the one group I was kicked out of probably for being asexual, then the other ones so far are so good. But they're some of the stuff is highly sexual. I mean, like I'm like, oh my god, this is so cringeworthy to me. But when they're predominantly sexuals in there, what do I expect? I can't expect them to change. Do you know what I mean? So it's very interesting. Yeah, I know it was a bit strange, but you did it funny. To do it would be funny if you did it again at some point, maybe. Did you actually see the video of me doing it? It was quite hilarious. But it was the same day. I think that was that the same day I had my Eeyore on my head. I know I had my Eeyore on my head at one point, which was quite hilarious. But I do some serious stuff as well, so I don't want to be all jokey. But nice to do some funny stuff sometimes. But I did some Atomic Kitten songs that I redid the words to in asexual words. It's really funny. I don't know if you've seen those videos. They are very hilarious. You should share them. Really hilarious. The thing is like one of the songs, if I start singing it now to myself, I start singing the asexual version of it, not the real version. I'm thinking if I ever sing that out loud, I'll end up singing the wrong version. But yeah, was it The Tide Is High I did? And another one. It was really, really good. They're really funny. Really funny. So another thing you can do for if you're looking for a relationship, it's obviously talk to more people you wouldn't usually talk to. So that means people in the supermarket. I know there's loads of introverts that watch this channel. They're going to be cringing now. They're like, I can't talk to people I don't know, but you need to. Everyone's a stranger until you start talking to them, aren't they? Do you know what I mean? You wouldn't have come across this channel right now if you didn't participate in straight interaction with a stranger. If you don't already know me, I don't think it was on the same day, but it would be funny if you did this month because you would look like a ghost blends in with Halloween. Oh my god. Halloween. I don't usually celebrate Halloween, apart from I do have one witch's hat because my housemate had a Halloween party once. Dearie me. I don't know what other people must think of this channel with the Halloween things. But yeah, I don't want to distract the fact that I do help a lot of asexuals because people really come to my videos for a lot of advice and stuff. So I like to take quite a lot of things seriously, but it depends. Sometimes I can't do nothing but laugh. Like being in sexual groups, sometimes I have to say, sometimes I can't do anything but laugh because I'm not sexual, obviously. And some of the stuff they like I do find it cringeworthy a lot because obviously I'm not sexual, but I look at it and some of it I just start laughing now. I think I've got so used to seeing, well, not used to seeing it because I'm not usually in sexual groups, but so used to like what people post, it's kind of predictable, or like really stereotypical things sexuals would post, and it just cracks me up, as it makes me laugh. I just sit and look at, I get, first of all, I'm really cringing. I'm like, oh my God, that's disgusting. And then some of it I still think is disgusting. And I'm like, I can't be in this group today anymore. I can't look in there. And other times I just sit there like laughing and thinking, is that all you can talk about? There's one woman who runs one of the groups and she's just constantly posting sexual stuff. Like she must be like hyper sexual more than most guys I know, to be or have known, to be honest. I mean, literally, she's like every post is usually got to do with sex and explicit sexual language, which isn't particularly nice sexual language either. It's like every post, I'm like, oh my God, I'm not used to that. But yeah, but it's interesting because obviously, I still live in a world full of sexuals, so it's kind of like interesting to see what they talk about. It's like pretty much all sex, and then it becomes a bit funny and not funny at the same time. But yeah, I mean, like I said though, if you are trying to increase your chance of getting a relationship, it's really important. I join sexual dating groups now because I'm trying to expand my reach in the UK, because I don't want a guy who's out of the UK. There's no point. But in the UK groups, there's a lot of foreign guys in there that don't even live in the UK. And of course, I get them interested in me, but I just say, like, I'm not interested in sex. Most of them are like, give up then. And the other ones don't. They just like try and spam me. And I'm like, no, thanks. Do you know what I mean? But, I am looking for a serious relationship. So it's kind of hard. There's a guy on ASAP, though, which is an asexual dating app. And I asked him what his interest was in me because I started talking to him first. And I've only been talking to him for a few days. And but he seemed quite interested in me because he's been asking me lots of questions about myself, which I don't usually get if a guy's not interested in me. And so I asked him outright, like I gave him 5 options because I think I spoke about this. That's another thing, though. It is really important to be crystal clear, because you might be talking to someone on a dating site and you might not know whether they're interested in friendship or more with you. So in order to widen your chance of actually getting a relationship, I think it's very important that you're crystal clear with the person about what their intention is and what your intention is, because you can end up with this relationship that isn't a relationship for months on end. You know the type that I mean, where you're both seem really interested and keen on each other, but you don't know if the person likes you as a friend or more than a friend. And it's in the back of your mind, like, do you tell them you like them more than a friend? Do you not tell them? So personally, I always work on the emphasis that tell them straight up front that, you are interested in them romantically, or ask them if they're interested in you romantically. There's no point in carrying on something if you've both got different agendas, So this guy, I asked him, I said, as I do to be, what do I say? I'll read my words out. Actually, I'm not going to obviously reveal him at all because that's not fair. But I just reveal what I said to them, So I said, because I think it's really important to tell you guys what I say, because it might be, I might have mentioned this before actually, because it's really important. I think I did mention it in another video. It's really important that you're crystal clear in these things, right? So I put, just so I'm clear, as I have a lot of people connected with me because of all the work I do for asexuals, and I arrange asexual meetups so asexuals can meet other asexuals to make friends. What are you looking to get out of the connection? Friendship, acquaintance, writing advice, asexual advice, or romance? And they came back and said, I started using this app for romance and to start a relationship. I know that stuff never comes fast though. And then they were asking me if I was interested, out of curiosity, if I was interested in a long distance relationship. So that was really good. That's a really positive thing. But so another thing you need to do to increase your chances of finding a relationship is obviously speak to people you wouldn't usually speak to before. Get out of your comfort zone. Try a different age group of people. Try someone who may be in a different city to you. Be willing to travel to meetups. Be willing to try and go in different groups. I mean, some asexuals are going to be on sexual dating sites because they're not going to know where to find other asexuals if they're not educated on asexuality and don't know those groups out there for them. Do you know what I mean? So make sure you put in your profile the fact that you're asexual, and that means you don't want sex. If you don't want sex, obviously some asexuals don't mind it. So it's really, really important. Really, really important. And get out of your comfort zone. Like this person I approached, right? They are cute. They are very cute looking. They are British, not foreign. So obviously, like I said, I had a British boyfriend for a while this year, which is different. It's the first time I've had a British boyfriend, even though it wasn't very long, since 2011, right? That's a long time. And the experience was short, but it was good in the sense that, I know that I could possibly be with a younger British guy now, which I didn't know before. So that's expanding the amount of people that I could possibly be with, the amount of guys I could possibly be with. So it's really important to get out of your comfort zone and to try different things. When I kissed the British guy I was in a relationship with for not very long this year, when I first kissed him, it was just tiny little kisses. And I love kisses, but I wasn't sure whether I would be that attracted to a British guy or feel comfortable kissing a British guy ever again. But I did. I really liked it. I really enjoyed it in the end. So that was really good. So, thank you for the thumbs up. So it's really important to get out of your comfort zone, and try different things. Like if you usually if you're living in the UK and you usually go for just British guys and you go to meetups and find there's some foreign guys, why not try being with a guy from a different ethnicity or a guy from a different nationality than you? So you could widen your reach, you could widen your choice and your reach by going for a different age group, going for a different demographic of where they live, going for a different ethnicity or nationality. You could vary what you do. And, if you're thinking about moving anyway, you can you can potentially be with a lot more asexuals. Do you know what I mean? Because if you're a person that's like done their study or whatever, they're not really settled in their career, they want to go and move abroad or they want to move somewhere else in their own country, you've got a great escape. You've got your best chance if you find someone now, because you can go and move to live near them because you're a free agent. Once you start getting like tied to a certain place, you've got a job there you really love, you've got family and friends you don't want to shift, then you're less flexible, right? And obviously it might be that you've decided you're never going to move, but maybe you have to consider the possibility of moving for a relationship. Either you have to consider the possibility of moving for a relationship, or you have to blatantly advertise the fact that you want someone to move to you and tell people that and find more movers. So anything that changes your circumstances, change what you've been doing and changes the diversity of the people that you've been going for is really, really important to try. Now, obviously, if you try to be with a sexual person, the chances of it working out if you're not going to have sex at all are much slimmer. That is the honest truth. But it doesn't mean to say that every sexual person needs sex. There are a very, very limited few who I know of that can be in a relationship without sex, right? So just because someone's sexual doesn't necessarily mean to say they have to be in a sexual relationship with you. I'm fiercely monogamous, but you could also try polyamorous relationship if you wanted to and you were comfortable with that. I'm not. That's just something I won't change on because I don't like sharing a partner with multiple people. I think it's hard enough as it is to focus all your time, energy and effort and concentration to that, building that specific relationship with that one specific person. I wouldn't like to be involved really in a triangle, and certainly not with a guy and another girl. If I'd ever like years ago, one of my exes liked a guy as well. Well, he had an affair with a guy actually, but he had an affair with a woman. I was more angry and upset about the woman. She had a kid and everything, and well, he left me for her basically. He didn't actually leave, but we split up over it. So yeah, whereas with the guy, he said that he said about the guy taking advantage of him, but I don't know if it's true. Duvets are too heavy though. Lovely. We keep having a duvet conversation. Why are we having a duvet conversation? Yeah. So, and obviously to increase your chances of finding a relationship, it's really important that you know exactly what you want. So in the relationship dating scene, I see a lot of people that they have no idea what they want. They have no idea what they want to do with their life, their career, where they're headed in their life. and they don't really know what they want in a relationship, and that is no good. You're not going to increase your chances of getting a relationship if you don't even know what your ideal type of relationship will look like. There's just a disaster waiting to happen, or not happening at all. And if you find that you're not getting anywhere with dating relationships, because you're not being categorically clear about what type of relationship you want or don't want. Right? It's no good. Like, I've gone to guys and I've said in private message, so what type of relationship are you looking for? I don't know, really, anything goes type thing. I'm like, you're so wrong. Anything doesn't go, because when you get into a relationship with that type of person, they'll start saying, well, I don't like that, I'm not into that, oh, I'm not interested in that, or I want to go traveling. Oh yeah, sorry, I didn't tell you. Or do you know what I mean? Or like, if I love kissing, they don't like kissing, and we haven't discussed it, and they're like, well, I don't like kissing it, or I don't like kissing in public, and I love it. It's not going to work, is it? Do you know what I mean? When people say they don't know what they want, usually subconsciously they really do know what they want, but they haven't consciously thought about it, because maybe they're not even looking for something serious. And so, if you're looking for a serious and committed relationship, you need to be looking for someone else who's looking for a serious and committed relationship, because they're going to be the ones that should put the time, energy, and effort into it if they're really serious about being serious about a serious relationship. I've known some people and they're like, yeah, I really want a relationship, really want a relationship. But the wanting is kind of like a fantasy. It's kind of like a wish and a want and a fantasy and something they really want. But when they've got it, they're not bothered about it. They don't maintain it. They take the other person for granted. They don't keep the communication up. And they think everything's okay with that, when really, really it's not. Do you know what I mean? In a relationship, getting into one is the easy part. Maintaining it and sustaining it in a happy, healthy way is the hardest thing. It's easy, isn't it? Just to say, oh, should we get into a relationship? Oh yeah, let's have a snog, right? That's easy. The hard part is all the bits afterwards, the supporting each other through times when things don't go right, the understanding of one another, the physicality between each other. Even though you're asexual, you'll still probably have some type of physicality in many ways. I mean, you might just be a hug or a cuddle. For others, it might be kissing. For others, they might like to massage each other with no clothes on and stuff like that. It depends on who the two people are involved. So you should be having an exact idea of what you want in a relationship, and things that are deal breakers, things that you won't change or compromise on, and other things that you can compromise and change on. So you should know all this before you get into a relationship, not after. Not bumble your way through and like, oh, in a relationship now, what do I want? I don't know. Do you know what I mean? That's no good. That's just like bye. You may as well not even bother. Do you know what I mean? So you have to be crystal clear on what you want. And if you're a type of person that's going to go traveling and you know that, then there's no point in trying to attract people who want to settle down into a relationship when you want to go traveling the world. You need to find someone who is like-minded, who wants the same lifestyle as you, which is so important. I think lifestyle is really overlooked, So, for example, for me, I don't go to sleep a lot of the time till 2 or 4 in the morning. It's no good if I have a guy who's got to be in bed by 10:30 or 11 if he stayed over, is it? I mean, most of the time I don't want him over anyway. I just like my own space and to do my own thing. Do you know what I mean? I might, if I had a guy, I might love him dearly and be romantic with him, but I don't want to sit there or lay there at 10:30 at night for him to go to sleep, and me to be bored out of my brain. Like, I just get up and do stuff. I can't be sat there wasting my life away. Do you know what I mean? So it's really important that you're both on the same hymn sheet, and, go out with friends more, because friends can introduce you to other people that might be partners. And you should always, like, if you're coming across people, say to them, if you come across anyone who's suitable for me, let me know, or tell them about me. That's what I do. So some of my friends go to asexual meetups in other places in the UK, and I'll be like, was there anyone there that's maybe suitable for me, do you think? Because obviously my friends know me really well, so if they're really good friends, they won't mind you asking them, like, is there anyone who you think might be suitable for me? Do you know what I mean? You're not saying for definite that person is, you're just saying it, and if the more people you've got looking out for you, like, sometimes I go in meetup groups, or I apply to go on meetup groups and meetup.com that are for singles, but they're not asexual. And I'll message the organizer and say, look, I'm asexual. I want a sexless relationship, basically. I'm looking for a serious relationship in the UK. But like some of the groups, they're just for certain ethnicities, and if like I like Indian guys, as you know, but I'm not Indian, so you have to be Indian to get in them. So I'll be like, but I'll message the organizer saying, do you know any Indian guys in your, for example, group who is asexual and is interested in this type of relationship? And I tell them what I'm interested in. So it's really good to communicate with other people in meetup groups and in other places. Like if you're having a conversation with someone, maybe that like sometimes I have a conversation with a guy, it works out that they're not right for me, but I'll say, if you've got any friends that would be interested in the same type of relationship as me, then let them know about me. And sometimes they say that back to me. Well, if you come across anyone, let them know about me. So it works both ways, but you can help each other out. It's kind of like business networking, but you're dating networking instead, or relationship networking. So I think that's so important. Like, talk to friends, talk to families, go out with friends more, because if you go out with friends more and you socialize more, you're more likely to bump into someone. Maybe at a park you're in, maybe it's a cafe or a bar you're in with your friend. Maybe you even go on a picnic and meet someone in the park. You never know. So I know a lot of you are introverted who watch this channel if you're asexual, because most asexuals are introverted, but you still have to go and get out of your comfort zone and socialize. You have to change what you're doing if what you're doing is not working. Otherwise it's just like going boom, bashing your head against this brick wall, and that's no good for for your self-esteem or self-confidence. It's very frustrating. I do know the feeling, because it's hard for me. But it's really important, you expand the type of person you're interested in. You think about different scenarios, and you go into different places and meet different people, and go, expand your friends, expand your social circles. And when you're in asexual dating groups or other dating groups, like, approach people, post in them. There's so many people I know that are in dating groups, they don't even post what they're looking for in a relationship. How on earth can you expect to find someone for a relationship if you don't even post in the group what you're actually looking for? If you never post in a dating group what you're looking for, how do you expect to date? How do you expect to get a relationship or find someone if you never say what you're looking for? You just remain silent all the time. It's not going to help you, is it? So when you're in a dating group, you should be posting your picture and what you're looking for every now and again. And you should also be approaching people and, go through if you're on Facebook, go through the members, click through the members and see if you like the look. If you're aesthetically attracted to people, see if you like the look of anyone. If they live in the same country as you, that's great. If they live near you, that's even better. And then approach that person by private message and say, hey, I saw you're in the same dating group as me. Obviously, you can say that, I'm in there to look for a relationship. Like, what are you looking for? Or, you can just start a conversation. I mean, you don't know what type of asexual they are. Like some guys that I speak to, they're homo-romantics. They're only interested in guys. So I say to them, I see you in the same dating group. Are you interested in guys or girls? Do you know what I mean? A lot of the guys that I get attracted to end up being homo-romantic. But I can't blame them, because guys are really good looking and I want to be with a guy. So if a guy wants to be with another guy, I kind of understand it and have a lot of empathy for them. If I was a guy, if I'd been born a guy, I'd be homo-romantic too, because I'm only interested in guys, not girls. So yeah, it's really important that you don't take people's sexuality for granted. If you start messaging someone, if they're interested in like the opposite gender to you, then you're going to waste your time. So ask all the harder questions earlier on. I know some people get afraid of doing that, like, oh, I can't ask this person. I'm like, yes, you can, because you don't know them. The emotional investment in them's low. The emotional attachment to them's low. It's the best time to ask all those questions, because you have less fear. You don't fear about losing them, because you haven't really got them and you've only just come across them. So it's much better to ask all the hard-hitting questions, like what the person thinks of marriage and sex, obviously, and kids and things like that, and where they see their future and what their plan is for the next 1, 2, 3, 3 and 5 years is ideal. Do you know what I mean? And if they're studying, know how long's their study? When's it finishing? If they're finishing study, like, what's the next step for them? Where are they going to want to be working? Is it going to be miles away from you? Are they going to be moving? Because if they're going to be moving, you don't want to move countries. That's just a recipe for disaster. You're wasting your time. So many people waste their time because they're so afraid of asking the questions of being in it. They're afraid of what the person might think, what the person might say if they lose them, but you've never really got them in the beginning. You don't know them. Doesn't matter. The emotional investment is lowest at the beginning. Therefore, if you want to save your feelings, save your emotions, save yourself from long-term pain, you should be asking all these hard-hitting questions at the beginning. Don't say, would you want to marry me? Because that's just ridiculous. You're going to frighten the person away. Say, what do you think of marriage? Don't say, would you like babies with me? Say, what do you think of having kids? And let them respond, right? You'll soon see their true colours. If they go, oh, yeah, I really, really want children, and you don't, then you know there's no point in continuing the conversation. If they say, I'm not bothered if I have kids one way or the other, you might want to ask them some more questions about that, because they might just be saying it because they don't know you and they don't want to put you off them. But, you know, if you've asked a bit more questions, like, okay, so you say you're not bothered one way or the other, what, you know, like, how does that work for you? You know, is it a case of the other person where they want them or not? Or is it a case of, like, maybe you're going to change your mind later on? You know, what's the situation with that? So you should be asking them open questions, like what, where, when, how, why, who. Do you know what I mean? So, like, what type of things are you looking for in a relationship? You know, which city do you live in? Which country do you live in? How do you see yourself in your career in the future? What type of things do you like to do in a relationship? What does your ideal relationship look like? How many people do you want to be in a relationship with? One or multiple people? You know, how much communication do you want with that person? Is it daily, weekly, every other day? You know, where do you see yourself living in 5 years' time? What do you hope to do with your profession when you've finished your study? Or, you know, I know guys who are a lot older that are doing loads of studying as well. You know, that are in their 40s, for example, that are doing studying. Not just guys in their 20s. You know, some of them are doing like at least one course, if not more. You know, so how do you plan to fit a relationship into that? That's a very good question. If they're studying, and even if they've got a job as well, it's like, how do you plan to fit a relationship into all that? How are you going to give time to that person? How are you going to give energy to that person? How are you going to give effort to the person? How are you going to make them feel a part of your life? Especially if you decide to go long distance. You know, how often are you going to plan to meet up? How often does the other person need to see you? How often do you need to see them? When are you going to communicate if you're both on different working patterns and shifts? You know, how's it going to work if the other person's studying, you've got masses of stuff on with your own work? You know, you need to be painting the picture of a hypothetical situation or situations before they even happen. Because this way, you're lessening your chances of being hurt. And that's really important, and of wasting your time. You know, there's no point going for a person who's unavailable. You know, there's some people that are just they're just emotionally unavailable. Excuse me, or they're just emotionally available, but not available for a relationship. And if you keep pursuing that person, they'll keep rejecting you and they'll keep pushing you away. And there's no point in pursuing them. If they don't want to be in a relationship with you, they don't want to be in a relationship with you. It's as simple as that. It might hurt, it might be rejectful. You know, you might feel rejected. I think that's the proper word, not rejectful, but you know what I mean? You might feel rejected, but that's okay. It doesn't matter. You can move on. Finding a person for a relationship is a numbers game. You do have to go for a lot of people to find the right one for you, usually. If you haven't done that, you're very, very lucky. And some people just don't realise what's in front of their noses. So this is a big thing, right? If there's anyone in your life or any people that you're really close to, you've got really close friends, have you considered any of those for a relationship? Like, I know people who go around for years of their life and the person that's been loving them from a distance, but really close up really, is under their nose. It's like their best friend. And they don't even realise it. They're completely oblivious to it, but I can see it, even though they can't. And they talk to the person more than I do. And it's like, well, it's obvious to people that the things they say to you, the way that, you know, the way they want you in their life, the way they show up for you. Do you know what I mean? So, you know, don't be one of those people like in a movie that's like, like those movies are very frustrating when you see two people meant to be together and they're just not, because they aren't communicating with each other and they both fancy the pants off each other, but no one says anything to each other. Have the conversation. What's the worst going to happen? If you're really good friends, you'll stay really good friends, right? And if you don't, it's not meant to be. You're meant to move on to other people, other places, do other things, right? So whatever will be, will be. And you have to kind of try to develop a fearless attitude. So your attitude has to change. Instead of being worried about getting hurt all the time, so you take no action and you do nothing, you have to take action. And you think, the more I get rejected, the more I am getting closer to the person I want to be with, because it cuts out all those people that are no good for me. So really, you should be looking to get tons of rejections, which is counterintuitive. Most people are like, I don't want to be rejected. I can't speak to anyone because if they say no, I'll feel rejected and I won't be able to take it and stand it and I'll feel really bad. No. The more you get rejected, the better it is, because the closer you are to finding the silver bullet, that one person that you need to be in a relationship with. That's all we need to find usually, unless you're polyamorous. Obviously, and you want multiple partners, but most people, the majority, I'd say, still in this world, are looking for one person. And even if you're polyamorous, you probably want to still start with one person anyway. Do you know what I mean? Rather than go all over the place trying to look for multiple people, it's good to concentrate and focus your effort on one person. But if you think about, I've got to find this. If you think about, you've got to find one person, rather than panic and think, oh God, I'm never going to find the person. All you've got to think about is you've got to find one person. And there's billions of people out there, and there's thousands of asexuals all over the place. There's asexuals on Reddit, there's asexuals on Twitter, there's asexuals on Facebook, there's asexuals on a lot of like Instagram, so a lot of YouTube. There's asexuals are everywhere. So broaden your horizons, go on more social media, connect with people on social media. I know I've heard of people meeting their partners on asexual partners on other social media, So I think one person met their partner on Instagram who's asexual. There's asexuality.org. That's not used for dating, but I know people who form relationships through that. So it's really, really important that you expand what you're doing, and you see rejection as a good thing, not a bad thing. You see it as part of the course. You see it as it's got to happen, because if I don't let it happen, I will never, ever find a relationship, because I'll just be stuck going, I'm going to get rejected. I'm fearful all the time. If you live in fear, you're never going to do anything with your life. You're just going to sit there going, I'm too scared to talk to anyone. Don't be scared of rejection. People say no to me. I say no to them. I reject people, they reject me. So what? You don't even have to see it as rejection. You can just see it as learning, a learning experience, because you learn something about yourself usually in the process, and you talk to amazing different people, even if they're not right for you. I speak to some people. I spoke to another guy in ASAP that's foreign. He was very beautiful looking, but when through talking to him, he was looking for a serious relationship. And when I was talking to him, he was like, he's studying. He's in the middle of working and studying. So he's stuck in his country anyway for the next few years. And I don't think he's going to want to move, and he can't anyway. So that's the end of that. And he said it was lovely to talk to you. And I really like talking to him. It's nice, even though it's brief. So, it's a learning thing, isn't it? It's nice to just say hello to someone you've never spoke to before, Someone who really, really loves and cares about you will stay in your life. They won't leave your side. They won't go away from you, right? The people that are no good for you, or just, not right for you to be in a relationship with, they'll leave your life, and that's okay. Easy come, easy go. We see thousands of people, don't we, when we're walking in a city, when we're going into the supermarket. We don't go around going, oh, that person's rejected me because they haven't spoke to me today. Do you know what I mean? Or they might have spoke to me, and I might have said, oh, that looks lovely, chocolate bar. Where did you get that from? And I don't fret that I am never going to speak to that person ever again in my life. I'm just like, it was nice to say a few words to that person. They told me where that chocolate bar is that looked nice. Do you know what I mean? So you can treat every type of interaction as just that. It's an interaction that's nice to say hello to someone. You don't know what reaction you're going to get from someone. On ASAP, I've got two completely different reactions. One of this guy was really rude, really rude. Because I wouldn't have marriage, And it's obvious he's just interested in a visa. You know, this person said they hate sex on their profile. I said, I hate sex too, because I'm meant to be asexual, obviously. And he said, I love British people. I said, I like foreign guys, but I don't want marriage and love where I live. Listen to this next bit. It's okay, I don't want marriage either. Right? Then in the next breath, but why? So if he didn't want marriage either, why is he asking me why? I said, but why to what? Why don't you want it where you live? Marriage, you see. I don't want sex or marriage or kids, and I love living on my own. I don't want to cook and clean for a guy. I've got better things to do with my time. I want to be a partner, not a mother to a guy. I don't agree with marriage. Ha ha, chill. I can cook for you, no problem. But that stereotype's bullshit. I just want warmth. And I don't want marriage. Simple as that. And I don't need someone speaking to me like that either. Good luck with your search. And they're like, are you retarded or something? It's like, no, I just know my own mind. You see, that guy's really, really insulting. So I don't worry about people like that. People are just rude and ignorant and not very nice because they're trying to manipulate me by saying, oh, they want marriage and all the rest of it, you know, which I don't want. And then there's this other guy, which I just told you about, was really nice. And, you know, he was talking to me about the book and stuff and how's the weather and what they were doing in their jobs. And they were giving me really smiley, saying happy Sunday, which was really nice. And they were telling me all about their career. And I said, you know, that basically as they live in another country, you know, I want to continue living in my own home. I don't want to move. So they go, yeah, I wish you all the happiness and a life full of love. Thank you. And thanks so much. You're so humble and kind. Love to talking to you. And, you know, that's a completely different thing, you know. So I had two different interactions, both with foreign guys. One was like really horrible, you could argue, the guy being really rude. And this other guy's beautiful, you know. Really, really lovely person, you know. Really, I can tell he's got really good energy about him. And so you never know what's going to crop up. You know, a person that can look nice on their profile can be really shitty, if you excuse my language, and a person that don't look that great on their profile can turn out to be a really nice person. So another thing I would say is if you usually go for a certain type of aesthetic attraction, change it up. Like, see if there's a guy or girl or whatever gender that you're interested in. See if there's a person that maybe not fits in with your usual type of aesthetic attraction, but isn't ugly to you. And approach them and talk to them. You know, if you're always going for a certain type of look, try a different look. Try a different person that's got a different look, or a person that's got some type of different personality to what you usually go for. Do you know what I mean? So change what you're doing. Change what's happening, change who you're talking to. You know, like I approached a guy a very, very long time ago on a dating site, asexual dating site. And he wasn't my usual type of look, but there was something about his look that I did like, right? There was, you know, he's older looking, but there was something I just liked. His hair, I think, although he didn't have much hair. And he looked nice in his face, as in warm. And you know, I just thought maybe I should try someone different, a bit older than I usually go for, and someone who looked a bit different, and maybe I should just try and reach out to them. So I started speaking to them, and that person now is one of my best friends. And we've known each other for nearly 2 years now. So, you know, we aren't suitable to be in a relationship together, but they're one of my best friends. Do you see what I'm saying? So you don't know, like that wouldn't have happened if I hadn't approached a guy that looked different. I mean, obviously it was on a dating site, so I was interested in him from a romantic point of view a little bit back then, because I was on a dating site and I thought I'll try someone different, a little bit older, got a slightly different look, but seemed warm and their profile seemed nice. And so I started talking to them. We got on really, really well. And yeah, they're one of my best friends now. So, you know, go for someone who looks a little bit different. Go for someone who's a bit different age group. Go for someone who's different, like in certain ways, and see how you get on. Like, I'm extroverted, but just because I'm extroverted doesn't mean to say I have to be with another extrovert. So with some introverts, I might go really well with them because introverts and extroverts can bring out certain, you know, other qualities in each other. Like, I have introverted tendencies, and the fact that I'm at home a lot, working on websites or writing, and I'm working in solitude quite a lot. You know, I'm here in my flat, which is beautiful. It's quite quiet a lot of the time, even though I like noise. And you know, I don't really speak to many people unless I'm on social media or doing this channel. And so, you know, I'm quite introverted in that way. Like a lot of my introverted friends, they go out more than I do and socialize. I sometimes don't go out and actually socialize with other people for like weeks. I do go on self dates now and again, but it can be, and I do get out going food shopping, but actually going out, you know, it can be like once or twice a month with other people. And I know other people, asexuals, that are introverted, and they're out like 3 or 4 times a week, or at least twice every week. And I'm like, do you know what I mean? So this thing where, oh, I couldn't be with an extrovert or I couldn't be with an introvert because we're too different, is not necessarily the case, because if an extrovert's got some introverted tendencies and an introvert's got some extrovert tendencies, then they can go well together. Or even if the extrovert has introvert tendencies that work really well with the introvert, and the introvert is okay with going out sometimes and likes it, even if maybe it's one-to-one more than in a group, then that's still going to be fine, isn't it? You know, obviously, if an introvert never ever wants to go out and the extrovert really does and they want to do stuff with them, then that probably wouldn't work, you know? But just because I'm an extrovert doesn't mean to say I can't be with someone introvert. I don't need someone who's out to the world like I am. I mean, it'd be handy if they were out about being asexual, yes, but I mean, they don't need to be like talking on a YouTube channel like I am. In fact, I like it if they're different to me in that way, you know? I think two people who are doing that type of thing, it can sometimes work well, and other times it can cause conflict depending on the people involved. So, you know, I think you've just got to open your mind a bit more and be a bit more willing to try different things and get out of your comfort zone more. Like I got out of my comfort zone this year, British guy, and now I talk to more British guys on dating sites, you know, than I ever did before. Like I wasn't even like going for British guys at all, but now expanded what I'm doing. It's good for me, you know. I've got possibilities there, and I do find more British guys attractive than I used to now. Like I've had one guy this year, it's like, oh, well, really young British guys in their early 20s I can be attracted to, you know, some, not all. And so maybe not quite as much as foreign guys usually, but there's a huge potential there, you know. I was very attracted to the British guy this year. So it's really important. So go out, be beautiful you. Don't worry about being rejected. Don't see it as rejection. Just see it as part of dating, part of getting a relationship. And it's a part you need to go through in order to find the right person for you. Expand what age group you go for. Expand your demographic. Be willing to travel. Be willing to and able and do it. Go out in different groups and social circles. Go to different places to meet people. Speak to more people in public as well, like places like the supermarket. Start a conversation about their food, start a conversation about their jacket, start a conversation about weather, anything. Try and keep having conversations. If you see someone in the park that's sat on their own, talk to them, start talking to them about the scenery, weather, whatever. You know, just get out of your comfort zone. Try different dating sites, but make it explicit that you're asexual, and if you don't want sex, put it on there. You know, and just expand who you like aesthetically, I can't even say it, their ethnicity, their nationality, you know, just expand everything, just make it more. If you expand it and make it more, you've got more chances, but you still want to be narrowed down in what you actually want in a relationship. So expand your reach, but narrow down what you want in a relationship. I know it sounds counterintuitive, but it's not, because the more people you speak to, but the more better idea and clarity you've got about who you want, then the more quicker you can get to the person you really want, because you're speaking to more, so you've got more chance of meeting more people, yet you're being dead certain on what you want, so you're more likely to be able to get the relationship you want. Does that make sense? Anyway, I hope so. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you've got any more questions, comments, or anything you'd like to say, please put it down in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. I'd love to hear your experiences of how you believe you can reach more people for a relationship. What things have you tried in dating sites or in person that helped you create more interactions with people to potentially get the relationship of your dreams? Please pop them down below. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel already, please subscribe down below, hit that great big bell icon to get notified of every time I go live right now or post a new video. Don't forget, I'm live streaming every day. You can ask me anything you want in the chat live as it happens. And give this video a thumbs up if you like it, and share it with anyone you think could hear this advice. Until next time, embrace your quality and each other. Thank you so much for watching. Love you lots. Thank you for ASG93 Gaming in particular, because you've been watching quite a bit. And Cridinand Mkhatra. I can't even pronounce it, but sounds very Indian. But thank you to you two for tuning in. And anyone else that's tuned in. Love you lots. Always love you. Take care. Bye. Have a good day. Lots of love. Bye.